Hello everybody, I'm Shalise. Welcome out everybody to my top 5 Uncharted villains. And sorry to say everybody, if you're expecting Uncharted 3 villains on this list, then sad to say they're not going to be on this list. In fact, if I had to do a top 10 worst video game villains of all time, Uncharted 3 villains would be on that list. They are that atrocious. But let's start off with number 5 of the top 5 greatest Uncharted villains. Number 5 is Harry Flynn. Harry Flynn is kind of like Nathan Drake. They're both treasure hunters. They're both good looking. They both are charming. They both think they're like ultimate sex appeal. Thing is, old Harry Flynn, he chooses to be the bad guy. And the fact is, he nearly killed Elena Fisher in the second Uncharted game was awesome. The fact is, even though I say the best thing about Harry Flynn is his dialogue scene at the end of Uncharted 2 of his death. Like, there ain't no redemption for me, and this ain't no movie, no fairy tale. The plucky villain is not gonna redeem himself. Harry Flynn is a scumbag, sleazy skyball. Problem is, though, he trusted a ego freaking maniac in order to help him find the treasure. So, Harry Flynn is number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna give to the Uncharted 1 villain, the best Uncharted villain from Uncharted 1, and no, it's not the other two characters you're thinking about. It's none other than Eddie Raja. What do I like about him? Well, even though he's a mercenary and even though he's a scrawny little weasel, the fact is his death scene is horrific. His death scene is funny. And Eddie Raja at the end left an impressionable mind for me for being an Uncharted villain. He was a stereotypical slimy weasel scumbag that kind of reminded me from Benny from The Mummy. He's that type of sneaky weasel. But overall, Eddie Raja, good character, funny villain, memorable villain. Eddie Raja is number 4. Number 3, I'm going to give to Asab. Asab was introduced in Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I think he's a great villain for Nadine Ross and Chloe Fraser. Asab is a man from India. He was a former doctor. Now he's a revolutionary. He's a very Machiavellian type leader. He may look like the typical bookworm, and all that stuff, but no, he's ferocious. He believes he's descended from the princes. He believes he's descended from kings. He has a very, very big ego, and he believes he could be the ultimate savior of India. And if some peasants need to die, let it be. He's like one of those good old-fashioned evil kings that you always read about in stereotypical movies and in stereotypical books, but Asab is one of those characters. He believes he's a revolutionary to help the people. In all reality, he's another freaking fascist that will do anything he can to get power and to make himself better than what he actually is. So Asab is number 3 in my opinion. Number 2, I'm going to get to Rafe Adler. Rafe was introduced in Uncharted 4 Thieves, and he has been obsessed with finding Adri's treasure. He wants something to cement his legacy, and he is so sick of Nathan Drake being so glorified for all the stuff that he has found. He wants to have his own legacy. He wants to have his own destiny, and he does not want to share it with the Drake brothers. He wants it all for himself. He may seem like a spoiled rich boy and all this stuff, but he could hold his own and fight. He could be just as ferocious as certain other characters, and I really do enjoy Rafe as a character. He is number 2 for me, and I know a lot of people will put him as number 1, but in my personal opinion, I will go with number 1, and my number 1 is Zorn Lazarevich. Zorn Lazarevich is the most stereotypical action mid-90s 1990s freaking type villain. He is a ferocious, vicious killer. He is a vicious warlord. He does not care about humanity. He has scars. He has his accents. He is the most stereotypical villain that you could ever get. The fact is, since Uncharted is basically based off Indiana Jones, he fits with this universe. I like Zorn Lazarevich. I like the voice actor who portrays Zorn Lazarevich. And Zorn is just ferocious. The thing is, what makes him a great villain is the fact is he does not give a shit about anybody. You could say the same about any of the other 4 characters, just how he does it himself to kill people, to hurt people, and all that stuff. He loves getting his hands dirty. He loves dealing out torture. He loves being the villain, and we all love watching him being the villain. So my number one favorite Uncharted villain is Zorn Lazarevich. But yeah, that's my personal opinion, everybody. What's your personal top 5 Uncharted villains? Would you have Rafe number 1 or Lazarevich? Would you have Asab higher? Think he's too high? You think I should include the Uncharted 3 villains? Please let me know what y'all think, everybody. My name's Elise, and I offered everybody. Bye-bye.